Good morning, traders. Happy Friday and welcome to the Showdown. If you guys are brand new, go ahead and subscribe and hit the like button if you enjoy this show. In this show, we do live trading, Forex live trading, and we use 5 pairs to implement those trades using our Pip Hunter tool. You can get access to this tool on our website. So stick around. I got your favorite guest, FxBigDog, join us, and we're going to have a battle. So let's start right after this. All right. Good morning, Big Dog. Welcome to the Showdown. How you doing this Friday?
I am doing just fantastic. The markets have been pretty well this week, but you know what? To be honest with you, this is nothing that we didn't expect. We didn't want it to happen, and it came to these certain levels pretty quickly, quicker than we expected. But it's something that we got to realize, traders. Not every time the markets are going to do what we want them to do, but the markets will do what it has to do. And when we talk about what it has to do, it really comes down to liquidity grabs. Listen here, if we have this idea that the market's constantly looking for liquidity, and smart money is going to push market to these levels so that you can go ahead and what we can call stop raid, then we have to understand that this is just the way the market moves, and either we fall in line or we're going to get lost behind. It is what it is. And so, Cameron, this week is no different to what's happened any other week. We may see things differently, and people might get frustrated, and emotional, and do things that they don't normally do. But the thing is that we have to stay calm. So, with that being said, take a breather, my friends. Take a breather. Take a breather. All right. And let's evaluate what's going on in the market. Let's go ahead and understand what's going on in the market so that we can make better trading decisions and get better at what we do. Remember, traders, it is not about profit and loss, even though that is important. It's not about profit and loss. Successful traders look at what? They look at being successful in the setups. Did I follow my rules? Number one, did I follow my rules? Number two, did I use good equity management? And number three, how can I improve what I'm doing? That's what we have to focus on. The profits will follow, traders. We got to stay committed to what we are trying to achieve here. And what we're trying to achieve is not about the rate, not how much money we can make, but did we follow the rules? Because if we follow the rules, we use good equity management, and we learn by what we did to improve what we're doing, we are going to become more and more successful in this business. Traders, that's it. That's the end of the story right there. All right. So, with that being said, Cameron, we've got a couple of things we're going to go ahead and take a look at today. We're going to look for some good trading opportunities. More importantly, we're going to go ahead and break it down and evaluate exactly what it is that we're looking for and how we're going to go ahead and profit from that. So, with that being said, traders, I'm going to give Cameron the floor to go ahead and start the first trade setup. You got it, Cam.
All right. Let's see. Which one do I want to pick?
Oh, which
US
one?
dollar
Which
CAD
one?
is a little accumulation going on right now. I don't know if I want to pick the US dollar CAD. Same with the Euro US dollar, but a lot of these pairs.
I'll take US dollar CAD, so you can pick something out.
Okay.
Something else.
Well, I think I'm gonna pick then the Euro US dollar here.
Okay, cool.
And if we take a look at the Euro US dollar, we had the buy side of the curve. Price came, swept buy side liquidity. We had a manipulation, we had divergence, and we had nice displacement to the downside, displacing through these minor lows. So we have some sort of market structure shift here. Either price is moving to rebalance insufficiency, either rebalance to equilibrium, or it's hunting sell side liquidity. So equilibrium is right here of this price leg. We have a lot of room to go ahead and trade if we're looking for a price to move to equilibrium. About 57 pips. We have a daily buy side imbalance. Also using standard deviation from this manipulation move that we had once price swept buy side. Then we had a manipulation to the upside. Then we had that displacement through these minor lows. We use standard deviation to see where our projection levels. -1 is near our equilibrium. That would be my first area that I would expect price to target. And then I would like to see price work its way into buy side balance. And if we run through this daily buy side balance, that gives me a little bit more confluence that we're possibly hunting some sort of sell side liquidity. So year on the year US dollar, right now, looking at the internal model, we have sell side imbalance, price displaced through these minor lows, price retracing to that area. And as you can see, we've also accumulating. So looking here at the 1 hour, we can see price swept this internal high in sell side balance and rejected. Price coming back up into sell side balance. We could look for price to again sweep some sort of internal high. Maybe it wants to run this high, this internal high right here before running back lower. But either way, we're in the sell side balance, so we want to see price reject off this area. I'm going to be looking for a sell here, and we're targeting about 20 pips, which would be to that next internal low. So that gives me a lot of room to go ahead and trade because we're in accumulation here. We're bouncing off sell side balance here, which is acting as resistance. And then I want to look for price to go ahead and hunt some internal liquidity here, which would be the sell side internal low here. That would be about 21 pips. So using our Pip Hunter tool, as you can see here, our Pip Hunter tool, all you got to do is click a button here on the Euro US dollar, the sell, and it'll go ahead and manage that position for me and close out for me once we hit that 20 net pip target.
Fantastic. Excellent. All right, good. Well, let's go ahead and move to my charts now. And let's go ahead and take a look at US dollar, Canadian dollar. Now, traders, very importantly, I've got to go ahead and stress this out, all right? We got to look at the bigger picture. If you want to start controlling your emotions, understand what the market's doing. And so it's vitally important, traders, that we understand that price is going to move in waves, but we also understand that liquidity is important to smart money. And so because of that, normally what we have to do is we have to look for, before we're looking for a reversal, we got to look for a liquidity grab. We've got to see if the market's taking out liquidity. And if it is, then we got to go ahead and address where is the market going to go next after the reversal. And so, again, if I mentioned this once, I've mentioned this 1,000 times. All right, price moves in three phases. We call it the power of three: accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. If you have that model in your mind and you understand the concept, then this is how we're going to apply it to the market. Firstly, number one, let's evaluate what's going on here with the bigger picture. If you look at the chart right here, what do you see? You see consolidation, right? The market is range bound. We got a large range and it started all the way up here in 2022. So we've been almost 2 years inside this consolidation. We've seen the market come back now and retest the top of the range. We see now there's room right here. There's a lot of liquidity down to the downside right here. So that means that we're going to expect price to move down. Let me give you guys a shocker. All right. If we understand that price moves in these waves, all right. So let's go take a look over here. If price moves in accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution, let's evaluate this, right? What is accumulation? It's a range. Now, something that you need to understand. There's ranges in candles. A candle's a range. You have a 1 hour range, you have a 10-minute range, you have a daily range, you have a weekly range, all right? So if a candle represents a range, right? This is the top and bottom. If that represents a range, then don't you think that manipulation will look something like this, right? Manipulation looks something like this. And if manipulation looks like that, then we're looking for distribution. What is distribution going to do? It's going to move all the way back down to the bottom of the range again. So traders, that's an idea you have to keep in your mind. And so with that being said, take a look and see what's going on here with dollar index, all right? If I go to the dollar index here and I look at the chart, but I break this down, I'm going to go to the weekly right here. I want you to look at, let's see here if I can pull up. Actually, in fact, I might have a chart here that's really built out. Let's go here. Dollar index here. Let's see if it's this one right there. Let's go to the weekly. And yes, this one right here. Perfect. All right, so take a look over here. All right, this is important. All right, this is important. I've been talking about this over the last few quarters. So this is the dollar index sitting over here, right? Now, what's important for you to note here is that this quarter one, was a range. This is the quarter range right here in blue, right? Now, if that's the quarter range, we have accumulation. Now, check out quarter two, all right, on the dollar index. What did two do? See this long black wick right here and this long wick down here? Then you've got the body here. What does that look like? That to me looks like indecision, manipulation as price moved above the quarter high, right? Moved above and then came back here and we closed back inside. So, which means that traders, what you have here is this. You've got the range of the quarter, you've got manipulation right here, and then you've got now distribution. We're looking for price to distribute back to the lows down here. So we're thinking bearish on the dollar. Does that make sense? All right. If that makes sense, go ahead and type up in the chat. That makes sense, big dog. All right. Because this is the deal. All right. If that's the case, then shouldn't we be looking for the dollar to sell off? Now, if you take a look over here, look at the weekly. I actually can go down to the daily right here. And so what's happening here on the daily, right? We're looking at this forming what? What do we see here? Take a look, traders. When you see manipulation, you're looking for what? You're looking for reversal. Take a look at the short term right here, all right? Take a look at this inside structure, how price has done this, came down, taking out the low, we've got market structure shift, and now we have a correction move. We've moved into a daily fair value gap, and we're expecting price now to continue to fall to the bottom of the quarterly range. Traders, if you're asking me why am I thinking dollar's going to fall, it's because of that reason. Because we have a perfect model structure set up based on quarterly data. And so with that, traders, let's go back to, and I know this is a long way around, and I know that you'd like to have taken a shorter cut to this result, but it is what it is. Now, here we got range bound trading for 2 years. For 2 years, we've been sitting in this range. We've got another setup right here, developing here. This is another range. Since what? Since April 24. So since April, we've been in a range. That's April, May. We got May, June, July. We're in the third month of consolidation. Price is bouncing between this area and that area. Now, what did we say about liquidity? When you get liquidity, that is where price starts working its way back down. So here we have it. Price goes ahead and tests liquidity down here. Price moves up, takes out liquidity there, buy side liquidity there. We sweep the highs. We've got a stop rate right there. So what are we looking for right here? Traders, remember, once the market takes out as a liquidity area, that's when we start looking for market structure shift, change of character. We're looking for a setup that's going to give us a good opportunity to sell. So I'm paying attention, all right, to a bearish setup. Now, the lower the time frame, the more you'll find these patterns. If I go to the 1 hour time frame, what am I seeing here? I'm seeing an internal break, all right? Now, this is how we look at it. I look at this as a high, low, and then we got this internal structure right here, but still creating highs and lows. And guess what? Price comes back down, sweeps the low, all right? Sweeps the low, so we got a sweep of sell side liquidity. Price starts coming back up again. Where's it coming back to? To rebalance, traders. The market's always going to rebalance. And so where's rebalance? Well, we can look over here. Here's a fair value gap sitting right here. All right, this is an hourly fair value gap. It's creating resistance. More importantly, traders, did it come to rebalance? Well, let's go ahead and put a fib in here. All right, put in a fib over here, and what do we get? We get price moving back to the 5-0 retracement. So we are rebalancing at a fair value gap, a perfect scenario. All right, price even goes up to our OTE area. What is OTE? OTE is a 62% retracement. All right, optimum trade entry level. Price came over there. So I'm expecting price to further move down south. So guess what I'm going to do on this particular pair? All right. So Cameron, let's go ahead and throw in a sell on the US dollar CAD. Make sense? All
All
right.
right.
Wow, man! I know it's not. I know it's Friday, but I guess it's Preachy Friday, right? Certainly Preachy Friday right here. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the next setup, Cam.
All right. Let's take a look at the New Zealand CAD.
New Zealand CAD, sure. Let's jump onto that.
So looking at the New Zealand CAD here, if we take
Oh,
a
I'm
look
pumped today. Oh, I'm sorry, Cameron. I'm so pumped today
at
because I'm so pumped because I think it's a good opportunity. There's a great opportunity sitting at the moment right now.
yeah. And looking at the New Zealand CAD right now, we can see that we're on the sell side of the curve. Price had a area of buy side swept. Then we had another expand to the upside here, sweeping the internal buy side, showing manipulation. So using standard deviation, we're projecting negative 2.5 at this area of sell side liquidity, which would be sell side of the curve. Price is now hunting sell side liquidity. As we can see, we're now just run through this daily buy side balance. So going to the 4 hour here, I'll be pretty bearish here because we want to stick to the trend here on the sell side of the curve, targeting sell side liquidity. This is where I expect the draw of liquidity to be. So looking here at New Zealand CAD, we could see some sort of retracement. Maybe price wants to come back, retest this order block, and that would be where I would expect price to come back if it wanted to retrace in this order block right here. So there's an area that price could retrace, but I want to stick to the trend, and we're on the sell side of the curve, and I'm going to continue to look for price to draw to the to sell side, which is the draw of liquidity. So maybe we have an area of price would want to go ahead and retrace about 30 pips. And that would and a short term buy would pan out for us because we're only targeting 20 pips. But if price doesn't draw to 20 to 30 pips, I want to stick to the trend here and stick to where price is drawn to, which is the draw liquidity. And I'm going to say, let's go ahead and sell here on the New Zealand CAD.
All right, fantastic, awesome. Well, this is what I want to go ahead and do. Trade. I want to just
Oh, sorry, we already have positions on the New Zealand CAD.
okay. Are we long or short?
We are long. We're long on the New Zealand CAD. So let me go ahead and break that down.
Okay.
And let me go ahead because we're actually just a few positions in on VIP. We're long, and we're almost hitting sell side. So once we hit that sell side, I expect a reversal. And our break even year on the New Zealand CAD is 82.01. So let's go ahead and throw out my break even here, 82.01. It's up here. So yeah, this is where our break even is. Okay. And that's pretty much at our and we're I think how many positions was it? Six positions? Six positions. So it's pretty much right at the high of this order block here that I would like for price to come to retest. So there is a possibility price might come close to our break even and then run back to our draw of liquidity, right? And we might be getting in maybe another position or two as price draws to this area of sell side. Okay, possibly two positions. Once we sweep this sell side, that's when I anticipate reversal. So our break even will move lower and we'll be targeting about, if we're getting to 8 positions, I mean, we'll probably be targeting less than 3 pips, gross pips from our break even. So once we sweep the sell side here, price will retrace to probably retrace back to maybe this daily buy side balance or maybe some order blocks as well. And that would be the possibility of us getting out in that retracement here on the New Zealand CAD. So yeah, we're in 6 positions. We're going to hold, let price continue to draw to liquidity. Once we sweep that, reverse will take place. And then either some sort of retracement or rebalance will get us out of those positions.
Okay. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and swing it over. Let's get to something really interesting here, and that's going to be on the CAD Swiss right here. So let's take a look at the Canadian Swiss, and once again, we're going to go to the large time frame, and we're going to look at our model. Right. So firstly, number one, if we take a look at this particular setup right here, we have to recognize that which we have large consolidation here. So we have accumulation, right? We've got accumulation sitting over here. Now, with accumulation sitting over here, where we're anticipating manipulation? Well, manipulation could take. What's going on with this thing here? It keeps popping this up here. So let's do this. All right. So manipulation is right here. All right. We move to the south side of the curve. There's accumulation. We move to the south side of the curve. We're expecting this to be phase 2. This is going to be phase 2 manipulation. And so price comes back in. When price comes back inside here, we expect price to go up to the top of the range, which is this area right here. That's the target. Now, something different has happened here on the CAD Swiss that's made people a little bit nervous. And that is that price has come back below this area once again. In fact, if you look over here, you can see as we go closer up to this model right here, we can see that price did this. Price moved back into the range, created accumulation. Now we moved into manipulation right here, and then price started moving up. So we expected price to go up to this area right here. It didn't. It failed. It held up here, and then we saw price come back down. Now I believe this would be setting up a turtle soup because this is our liquidity draw here, our external liquidity draw. Cameron can go ahead and confirm this. All right, let me get Cameron on the picture. Yep, Cameron, do we have a turtle soup setting up over here?
They're on the CAD Swiss.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking at? The daily?
The fact that price created a change of structure right
So
here.
this would be a turtle soup is what I would anticipate here is looking at the daily. If you show my chart.
Okay, let me move to your daily.
Yeah. So the
Gotcha.
turtle soup would be this would be our draw liquidity. We have equal highs right here. Price is now on the buy side of the curve.
Yep.
And then price continue down, create an internal low, and would continue higher. So what we would want to see is price coming back down here, sweeping this internal low. But the problem is what we didn't see is we see price displacing through that low. So what we would want to see is price sweep that low and then displace higher, indicating this is our turtle soup.
So because it displaced below, it doesn't classify as
Yeah, because we would want to see price, and once again, same thing here, right? Price is moving to our external draw of liquidity on this buy side. Price retrace. Okay, this would be on internal liquidity, this weekly imbalance, right?
right.
The price rejected off that. This would give us confluence. Okay, we hunted internal liquidity. Now we should see price hunt external. External would be this right here,
And
not
it
this
never
high
did
because
that.
so then price, what happens? Price came back lower, taking out this low. So what I've been saying to the VIPs, I think right now we're looking like we're on the sell side of the curve, and I would anticipate that we're gonna hunt the sell side liquidity
Darn it.
because what we are seeing is we're seeing price displace through these lows, displace through these fair value gaps. This is indicating bearish. And
Yeah.
what I would like to see is looking at the weekly. If the weekly, and today's Friday, so we're at the end of the week, if the weekly was retracing back into this range, that would give me a little bit better confluence that okay, maybe we're now sweeping this low and price could want to come back into this range. But because we stayed below this range in the weekly and we're closing below this, this is indicating that next week we could see some sort of retracement to this order block and price might want to run to sell side.
Yeah. So traders, this that is the absolute truth. That is exactly what I was trying to get to right here. Is that you know, uh, it is what it is. Market does what the market would want to do, and we have to really define what the market's trying to tell us based on the opening closes, right? And so, just as Cameron mentioned right here, that weekly close that we get, if we have a weekly close the way it is, then yes, we could see price moving back up here and then going down here to sweep the lows down here. It's very, very possible. Now, I wanted to say this though. We could also be wrong, right? But I want to give you everything. I want to give you the skinny on everything, right? Whether it's good or bad, we have to look at the options. And so I get excited about certain things, but this to me this is concerning to me. All right, it is concerning because the market wants to sweep liquidity, and this liquidity is sitting right here. It hasn't been swept. So a test of that, and then start the rally may very much be what the CAD Swiss is looking for. And so, Cameron, I believe we do have positions that we're currently holding here on the CAD Swiss. Correct? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and price can't reverse until we sweep some external liquidity range of sell side. So, a lot of traders would probably get upset seeing price move lower. But the point of price reversing is we need some external liquidity range get swept. So if we want to anticipate some reversal, we want to see price sweep sell side and then continue to see if the reversal sets up.
Right. Now, I'm going to say this, though, that if we break back above the sell side right here, if we break back above here and we take out this buy side at the top here at around about 64.87, I'm going to anticipate that because of this larger range that's been very significant, I'm going to say that there's a higher probability that we're going to continue to move to this buy side right here at 66.32 and then continue towards 67 plus and then on our way to 68.30. So it's going to come down to this. We're going to have to wait and see how price forms here. We're going to have to see what it sets up here. It's a wait game. It's something we have to wait for. You know, like I want to bring you back to US dollar CAD again. And these are the things that I'm not seeing on the CAD Swiss. That if I go to this chart right here, and I remove this and I go to the weekly. Remember we spoke about weekly ranges, right? A candle can be a weekly range. I want to take a look at. I want you to take a look at this, right? If you look at this and you pay a little more attention. Oh, let's go just to this area, right? If I look at this right here, what do we see? We see a candle high, right? There it is. And then we see a candle low right here, right? We also see inside candle high, candle low. Remember, this is the weekly time frame. So which means this is the weekly range. And we've saw manipulation right here. We want to see the same thing right here. Now we've got still half the day left. But what we want to see here is after we had sweep that high, so the high sweep, we want to see this candle close out back below the range. So what is the range? Let's take a look here. The candle high is approximately at 37.88. So based on where we are now, that's about a 40 pip, maybe 60 pip pullback. So we need price to go back about 60 pips. That's the pull. And it needs to close out below here. If it doesn't, just like Cameron said on the CAD Swiss, then price is going to try and move towards the next liquidity area. And so if we look over here, where's the next liquidity area? It's right up here at 38.99. So which means traders, if we don't manage to close out the weekly below the range high, then we could end up pushing all the way back up here, right? All the way back up here. And I'm really paying a little bit more attention to this because remember, we already sweep that high. The next buy side is this right here, but we've got to see price rejection. We've got to see manipulation right here, all right? And so this is why I'm looking at this. I'm going, hey, if we don't hold there, it's a good place for selling. But if it doesn't hold there, we're going back to 30, call it 39. All right, going back to 39, we're going to sweep the high up there. And then that brings us back to this larger range. All right, so if I bring back this right here, you can see that's the larger range. That's the larger range right here, sitting there around about, we've got the highs that we've testing. So it looks like it may sweep the high at 139, but then close up back below 38.75. All right, so that's where it is. Is it comforting? Is it something we're excited about? No. We'd like to see price moving down. But remember, traders, there's no crystal ball on this, right? We got no crystal ball. All we got is just an idea that if price does certain things and we see price action showing it on the chart, we can anticipate what price is going to do. But if it doesn't, we just know it's chasing after the next liquidity high. All right? Now, coming back to the CAD Swiss, let's finish up on this one. We can move to the next currency pair. CAD Swiss, gotta wait to what's happening right here. If I go to, let's go to a monthly chart here, just to take a look at the bigger picture, all right? So if you look at the monthly chart, all right, these ranges can tell us what the bias is going to be. So when price traded above this area right here, all right, it indicated that price is going to be bullish. But let's just take a look here. We got this candle right here, high and low. Price broke above. So which means that we are bullish. What happened? Price then went ahead and failed to break above this one. What did that mean? Price is coming back down. We did. We saw price come back down. Price sweep the low of their range. There it is. And it actually trading lower. So this daily candle right here is now telling us that we're now in a bearish trend. All right? To do what? To sweep liquidity. There's the liquidity low right here. So which means that this monthly candle, which by the way, we've still got a few more days left in next week before this candle closes out. But if this candle closes out back above that level there, all right, at around about 64.50, then that candle is this candle range is holding. And that means that traders, that we want to see more indecision here, staying above that candle at 64.50. That's the area. And we want to see price then work its way back up to this area. That's why traders, when we go to the 4-hour or the 1-hour time frame right here, or even the daily, if I go to the daily here, this area there it is. If we come back above that area at 34.35 and we sweep the high at buy side at 64.90, I'm going to tell you that we're heading back up here to 68 and change. All right. In fact, if you look at this area right here, if I go bring this back, this target is still a draw. All right. 67.05 is still a draw for the market. All right. This is our external draw right here because I've got my accumulation. This is the manipulation. And so if we start seeing buy side being taken out and swept up, we're going to move back to the buy side of the curve, I believe. And we're going to see price then looking for liquidity at 66.30 and then 67.09 and then on its way to 68.30. But it's going to be crucial. Is this sell side enough to keep price going north? We'll have to see over the next couple of weeks. Now, just going to some news. Let's take a look at what's going on next week with regards to news. We've got coming out next week. Let's just look at US and Swiss news. So we've got all right. We've got some Bank of Japan coming out right here, but we've got US data. More particularly, the Feds are looking to keep the rates unchanged at 5.5%. Hey, listen here. The only surprise that they can bring us next week, because the fact that they keep the rates unchanged is not a surprise. They mentioned they're going to cut interest rates by as close as September. Could they surprise us? The Canadians have already cut interest rates this week, 25 basis point. They normally would cut if they've got an indication that the Feds are going to follow suit. If the Feds were not going to cut rates and it was a no-no all across the board, then the Bank of Canada, I'm almost certain, would not have cut interest rates this week. But they did. So they have sort of inside information that the Feds are definitely leaning more towards cutting interest rates. Now, if they do and surprise the market to come out next week, that's going to bring a big downside move in the dollar because we've already seen it priced in, the dollar rally, due to the fact that we're looking at rates staying on hold. So it's not going to be surprised if they keep rates on hold. But they will be surprised. The market will be surprised if they cut interest rates come next week, Wednesday. All right, that's going to be key. Now, we don't have any Swiss data other than CPI month to month. Not a big deal. All right, so we've got to go ahead and take a look and see what's going to go down the following week. So we've got to go into August, that first week in August. Let's take a look at the first week of August. We got CPI year on year for China, but that's not what I was looking for. Let's go to the next week right here. You know what? The better thing here is, no, I'm getting nothing out of Swiss. All right, so there's no data over the next couple of weeks for the Swiss, right? But this is what you have to think about. All right, you got to think about: are we in a risk on or risk off trading environment? If you take a look at the Dow this morning, Dow's been pushing north. In fact, I actually broke down and traded. I'm giving you a little more information than we normally do in these sessions, but I think it's important. If I look over here, look at the model that I'm looking at here on the Dow. Here we have accumulation. Here we have manipulation. We're sitting on the buy side of the curve. We're looking for price to reverse. I'm going to go to my 4-hour time frame. Do we see that? Price takes out the lows right here. All right. We actually saw market structure shift right there. So we are starting to see break of structure, which means price is starting to work its way back to external levels. All right. So I'm looking at the Dow right now. And I'm saying, hold on a second, right? If we hold up, I don't know what that is. If we hold up at this support right here, what's happening? We might end up getting what, and Kevin can come back here and give us confirmation on this. But to me, This is another turtle soup happening right here because we're taking out internal lows, but our external, this is my external, this is where I see the draw at, but we may get the market. Now we see a market structure shift right here. May get the market to go back up here to take out that liquidity there, and then start heading back down south. Cameron, I'm going to bring Cameron in on this, right? And I want to go get this confirmation here. Cam,
Yeah.
could
So
this be a
a,
turtle
tur-
soup?
yeah, so a turtle soup is, you have to understand, where is the external draw. You said the external draw is where?
External draw is going to be here. This is where we're looking for price to move to. But turtle soup could go ahead and sweep this external here.
So that's not the internal. That'll be the external. So the internal will be
External,
right
correct.
now where your market structure shift is. That would be, and that's not a market structure shift yet because price hasn't displaced. So
Correct, yes.
that's your internal liquidity. That's your internal high. So
Correct, yes.
price retrace back up, sweeping that internal high, and then it will continue to move lower to your draw of liquidity. That would be a turtle soup.
Ah, so
And I'll look for my external low because you're looking at the 4 hour. You see where price started displacing that low? Yeah, right there. That's the sell side I'll be looking for. That's where we saw some buying pressure. That's when we saw price displace to that area where it created that external high. That would be my sell side. I'll be looking for price to target. Now price is drawing to that area, but then it retrace higher, sweeping an internal high. That's a turtle soup.
So if this, by the way, traders, if you're not involved in Cameron's trading sessions every day, check out Traders Network Club VIP Level 1. All right, go to Traders Network Club, go to the VIP packages or VIP bundles. It's just going to scroll down to the bottom of the page, click on that, and then check out Cameron's. Cameron, in fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and share a link here. I'm going to go ahead and give it over to Cameron in a minute here, but I'm going to share a link. Cameron talks about these things all the time inside his trading room, and he gives you information about how to look for these different types of setups because, again, you've got to understand market structure shift, all right? And you have to understand whether that market structure shift is actually, in fact, what he calls turtle soup, which means it's a false break, which means it's not a displacement above the previous internal high, which means that price is actually going to manipulate on the other side of the market. All right. So you have to understand this. So in this case now, this might just be a turtle soup moving back down south towards this draw right here, this internal draw right here. So this could be a fake break. But if the market displaces above, then we may have an opportunity to move higher towards that liquidity high right there. Correct, Cam?
Yeah, and also what happens is you have a market structure shift there above. You see the other one?
Yep.
I said that now that is a market structure shift because we had price displaced through that order block and
Correct,
that
yes.
internal low. So if price wants to move higher, well, we have to consider that price could be moving to an area of liquidity, which would be that breaker block, that order block that failed, that price displaced through.
Yes.
Pretty much where your 4 hour fair value gap is. So you have a 4 hour fair value gap that's inside a breaker. That would be a unicorn setup.
Yep.
So if price wanted to retrace, and if you had to pull your fibs from the bottom of that or the high to the low, you would see price would want to move back to a premium range. No, the external high,
Okay. I'll have to
the
change
one
my
at that
thing.
resistance there. Yeah, all the way there
Oh,
to
snap. Putting up the wrong fibs. Yeah.
all the way to the low, all the way to the no, yeah, that low. Yeah.
Oh, so you're looking for
So price moving back.
good.
So price, as you can see, there's your 50% retracement.
Yeah.
Price could just tap that EQ like it just basically did, and then
Balance out.
if it displaced away from that internal high, then that's confirming, okay, now we've rebalanced to EQ. We swept that internal high. It looks like now this would be our turtle soup. Now, if price wanted to move higher, we would have to consider that price could also want to move back into premium where there's liquidity, a breaker and a fair value gap lined up together.
There it is
It could
there.
be a unicorn step. So now we would have to anticipate, okay, let's see how price reacts in that range. If price wants to run through that range, then yes, now we're having better confirmation that we're running to that area of resistance.
All right. So traders, what we got to look out for here, this is the day 4 hour time frame. We got to look to see if price can actually displace above this area. If it does, then we move it into this unicorn setup right here, where this is extremely strong resistance. And then at that point, if we hold at that point, we're going back down here towards this area. This is on the Dow. All right. But if it goes through that, then clearly that is our next liquidity grab right here. And so we'll be looking for price to sweep and then start working its way back down. All right, so we got a lot of this is a lot of information out here, traders. Once again, check out Traders Network Club VIP level 1. Check out the level 1. Get involved, because if you want to learn how this market works and try to control your emotion, try to be better traders and make better trading decisions, you got to get inside these sessions. All right, traders. Well, with all of this being said, everything coming back down to the CAD Swiss right here. We start off with this. On the CAD Swiss, what I'll be looking for right here, and I'm going down as low as down to the 15-minute time frame. And I noticed that, okay, 15-minute time frame, we did see an internal sweep of the high right there. So we did get a market structure shift. We got displacement. Now I want to see price continue. So what I do is I'm going to move it up to the hourly, and I'm going to look at the hourly right here. Now you can see right here, we need to sweep that high there at 64.20. If we continue to sweep highs, all right, as we move up to the larger time frame, we're getting better and stronger confirmation that price is going to move back further up higher. So I'm going to say this, that we're currently holding longs on the CAD Swiss, all right, and we continue to hold longs on the CAD Swiss, but we will evaluate what the market's doing over the long term so we can understand better what's going on. All right, let's move on to Cameron. What other currency pairs do we have available that we can go ahead and address?
The Aussie CAD.
Aussie CAD. All right, I'm gonna let you go ahead and take this one. All right.
Yeah, and the Aussie CAD is actually in a little sticky situation because if we take a look at the daily here, what we have right now is we had this accumulation. Price broke out of that accumulation and coming back to run these internal lows of that accumulation. We did not run this low here. We've now tapped into this buy side imbalance and we rejected. So let's take a look at the 4-hour here and let's see, okay, we tapped into this buy side. We've bounced out of this buy side imbalance. Now, the only thing I would expect for price to retrace to would be this order block. Oops, what happened there? This order block right here would be a key area that price would want to retrace to, because what is going on in this order block, there's a lot of buy stops, a lot of retail buyers keeping their orders safe in this area, right? So, and the reason why is because when retail traders are trading, they keep their stops at highs and lows. So this order block is an area where price would want to go ahead and raid these buy stops, collect liquidity in this area before continuing lower. So if I'm looking at the higher time frame model here, I would like to see price run this internal low in this buy side imbalance before we continue to move higher. So yes, there's room for price to retrace higher into this order block, but once price taps into this order block, I'm expecting to still be bearish here, running this low here, the sell side liquidity in this buy side imbalance. So we do have enough to go ahead and trade to this order block. But because I'm anticipating price would have to go a little bit higher into this order block here to close out, because we are trading to the draw of liquidity, which would be my sell side here, I'm going to go with a sell here on the Aussie CAD. And also because I know the New Zealand CAD is also moving bearish, also retracing back to an order block. So I like to use these two assets to confirm my bias. And I think the same thing with the Aussie CAD, where we might be retracing into this order block and then run some buy stops before we continue to move lower. I'm going to stick with the draw of liquidity, which I expect price to draw lower, and I'm going to go ahead and sell here on the Aussie CAD.
All right, fantastic. Listen here, guys, once again, I want to go ahead and just say this, that if you are not involved with Cameron's VIP level 1 trading session, and you say, well, big dog, you know what, I'm just trying to work out a few details. Let me go ahead and say this. While you're thinking about the process, we do work with brokers, and we're working with ACAP right now. And ACAP's actually given us the opportunity to be able to offer you guys free access to Cameron's VIP level 1 session. All right. How do you get involved? How do you get it absolutely free? Very simple. All you got to do is open up a live trading account with ACAP. Now, if you're asking me, big dog, I don't know who's ACAP. Well, let me go ahead and show you. Just hold on right here. This is ACAP. Let's run it. All right, traders. Well, that's it. Listen here. Go ahead and check out ACAP. If you're looking to get involved in the VIP level 1 and you want to get free access to that, unfortunately, it's not for the US. It's only, yes, I know, boo. It's only for the for international clients, because obviously ACAP is an Australia-based broker. And if you want to go ahead and open up a live trading account with $10,000 or more, you'll get up to a year free services. You'll be able to get to the trading room, be able to get into the Discord, and you'll have access to Cameron's personal VIP trade replicator that you can actually connect to and have your trades. If you don't get into the sessions, you'll be able to connect to it. So any trades that Cameron does, you will actually get those trades implemented into your own trading account. So there's a lot of benefits. There's a lot of great stuff happening. Good content, good education, good community in the Discord, especially in the Discord channel. There's a lot of communication going on there. The support is fantastic. I can say that for a fact, because I pay attention to what's going on in Traders Network Club. So traders, make sure you guys grab the opportunity. All right, it's absolutely easy and simple to get connected. Make sure you guys go ahead and do that. So with that being said, traders, good luck with your trading. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you very much for being here. We are so fortunate to be able to have the people we are involved with, to be so close to and be so connected to. And we just thank you guys for being here, giving us the support that we need. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys next time. This is FxBigDog and Cameron saying cheerio.